According to teasers for Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester is prepared to give Thomas Forrester a ton of advice after sizing up his afternoon skit that she happened to stroll into this week on the CBS soap opera. Some have attempted to illustrate to the Forrester son the risk of falling deeply in love with a woman who does not share his intentions. However, it's possible that his sister can sow a seed in his lovesick mind that no one else on B&B was able to. This week, Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McSinswood, showed up on B&B Spoilers, walking in on a shirtless Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson. He's actually in a passionate embrace, so B's not alone at all. Her mother had informed her that her brother and Hope Logan, Annika Noel, were becoming closer. But now she can witness firsthand how far this has gone beyond simply locking lips. Everyone who is concerned about Thomas Forrester shares Steffy's anxieties. Many have been warning Thomas about the dangers on the Bold and the Beautiful. They worry that Hope would return him to that terrible place, despite all the effort he has put in to become the changed man he is today. This is due to her open declaration of her distaste for Thomas Forrester. When Hope feels the anguish of her marriage failing, it appears that she turns to Thomas like medicine. In addition, she ran to Thomas to use lust to ease her anguish after learning that her father, Deacon Sharp, scene canon, was seeing Shayla Carter, Kimberlyn Brown. She requested him directly at the time to help her forget what she had just seen at her father's house. As she undressed, she asked him this. He gave it to her again, since he knew what she wanted. B&B recap. Steffy visits the original. Remaining behind to speak with her stepsister, Steffy Forrester makes an effort to chastise Hope. But rather, she's shocked. The somewhat timid stepsister has vanished. Rather, she immediately returns it to Steffy. She not only held her ground, but Bold and the Beautiful made care to treat her with a casual demeanor while doing so. Thus, Steffy hears her stepsister's tirade against adults who have given their consent in full. She had already mentioned this to Thomas Forrester's mother, as well as to her own mother, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, not too long ago. Steffy fears there won't be a reciprocation of Thomas Forrester's affection for the Logan daughter. Hope has repeatedly shown her affection for Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton. However, Steffy's admonition to her not to harm Thomas won't be very effective. According to B&B Spoilers, Thomas Forrester's mother will be back on television this week. Although Sheila is being pursued by Taylor Hayes, Krista Allen, to warn her, it appears that Taylor may have other plans. Thomas knew he was going to be in for a lot of pain the last time Taylor showed around. She is aware of her son's intense love for his stepsister. She is also aware that she does not love him. It is therefore likely that Thomas will eventually find himself encircled by his sister, even though the spoilers claim Steffy tries to give Hope a piece of her mind. Nonetheless, Thomas' mother and sister may make a strong team. They may bring up the fact that Thomas doesn't often get to spend time with his sweetheart these days. Unlike most couples, they don't watch a movie or have supper together. This is another item his mother and sister might bring up if he begins to waver in his plans as a result of these afternoon love fests. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Hope will eventually confess her feelings for Thomas. However, this can happen right after he considers what everyone has been telling him. Perhaps she notices him retreating. Perhaps she has to realize that she might lose him in order for her to finally admit her genuine feelings. Few spectators can deny her passion for Thomas Forrester. She won't acknowledge it, though, most likely because of Liam Spencer. Nevertheless, Liam is still heard pleading with Steffy Forrester to return home in that damning voicemail. Thus, there's a risk that Liam will discover eventually that Steffy and Finn are committed to one another. It's also possible that he drifts back towards his spouse. This week, Brooke stated that Hope is still not divorced. Consequently, her spouse might return with his tail between his legs. Most likely, B&B leaves this voicemail in that scene. It appears like external factors are trying to keep Thomas Forrester apart from the lady he loves. Steffy Forrester is probably one of those factors. Thus, Thomas might end up with the lady he's always wanted on the CBS serial opera, even though there will be some very difficult times ahead.